Hey, runners, you ever feel that pressure to be like super thin if you want to be fast? Like it's this like golden rule or something?
Yeah.
We're going to tackle that today, that stubborn myth head on.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into an article called Only Thin Runners Are Fast. Stop Obsessing Overweight.
Okay.
And it's from rockinggaletra.com.
Oh, nice.
Fantastic blog, by the way.
Yeah.
Packed with resources for runners of all levels.
Great.
Definitely worth checking out.
For sure.
But
Yeah.
I'm curious, what are your initial thoughts on this whole thin equals fast idea?
Yeah, it's definitely pervasive. It's
Yeah.
almost like an unwritten rule, I feel like, in the running world.
Totally.
And what's interesting is that this focus on thinness often leads runners down a path of like unhealthy behaviors.
Oh, for sure.
And distracts from the factors that truly impact speed and endurance.
That's a great point. And that's what the article really highlights, is
Yeah.
that potential harm of this weight obsession. I've definitely fallen into that trap myself, thinking I needed to be lighter to run faster.
Yeah.
But the article challenges that assumption by introducing the concept of running economy. Can you explain that a little bit?
Absolutely.
What does that mean, and why doesn't it always translate to lighter is better?
Yeah. So running economy essentially refers to how efficiently your body uses oxygen
Okay.
while running.
Got it.
The less oxygen you need for a given pace, the more economical your running is.
Okay.
Now, it is true that carrying extra weight can
Sure.
make you less economical.
Okay.
But here's the catch. Losing weight at the expense of muscle mass can actually backfire.
So it's not just about the number on the scale,
No.
but what that weight is made of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, and the article cites studies from the Journal of Sports Sciences that show runners with higher muscle mass
Okay.
often outperform those with lower body weight, but less muscle.
Huh.
Think of it this way. You could have two runners with the same weight, but one with more muscle
Okay.
will likely be stronger and more powerful,
Yeah.
ultimately leading to better performance.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how do we find that balance?
Yeah.
How do we figure out our own optimal weight range without falling into that trap of, striving for extreme thinness?
Yeah, that's where understanding your individual body composition comes in.
Okay.
It's not about fitting into a universal mold,
Right.
but figuring out what works best for your body and training goals. The article also talks about the concept of a set point,
Okay.
which is basically your body's natural weight range.
Got it.
Trying to force your body below this set point can be incredibly counterproductive.
So can you elaborate a little bit on what happens when we try to force our bodies
Yeah.
below that natural set point?
Yeah.
I think a lot of runners can relate to that pressure.
Yeah, for sure. So forcing your body below its set point
Okay.
disrupts its natural equilibrium. This can lead to a cascade of issues like fatigue, hormonal imbalances, and even an increased risk of stress fractures.
Wow.
Your body needs a certain amount of fuel and resources
Yeah.
to function optimally,
Right.
and depriving it
Yeah.
can actually hinder your performance and overall health.
Hmm.
It's so important to listen to your body's cues
For sure.
and work with it, not against it.
Yeah, I think that's a message a lot of us need to hear, especially with all the pressure to conform to certain body ideals.
Right.
But I think the article does a great job of shifting the focus from weight
Yeah.
to other crucial aspects of running performance. So what are some of the key takeaways in that regard?
Yeah. One of the first things that the article dives into is VO2 max.
A VO2 max, I've heard that term thrown around,
Yeah.
but I never really fully grasped what it means. Can you break it down for us?
Yeah, so VO2 max is basically a measure of your aerobic fitness,
Okay.
specifically the maximum amount of oxygen your body can use during exercise. It's a key indicator of your endurance potential.
Okay.
And here's the exciting part. Improving your VO2 max through targeted training can lead to much greater speed gains than simply losing weight.
So it's not just about being light. It's about training your body to use oxygen efficiently.
Exactly.
Are there specific types of training that help improve VO2 max?
Absolutely. Interval training, where you alternate between high-intensity bursts,
Okay.
and periods of recovery is particularly effective
Right.
for boosting VO2 max.
Got it.
Hill workouts are another great way to challenge your aerobic system.
Mm-hmm.
And the article highlights that consistency is key.
Okay.
It's not about quick fixes,
Right.
but incorporating these types of training into your routine consistently.
Consistency over quick fixes.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yes.
The article also mentions running form. I know from experience that when my form is off,
Yes.
I feel less efficient and more prone to injuries. So how does form factor into the equation?
Running form is crucial for optimizing your energy expenditure and preventing injuries.
Okay.
The article points out that efficient biomechanics
Okay.
allow you to move more smoothly and reduce wasted energy,
Okay.
ultimately improving your speed and endurance.
Gotcha.
Think about it. Every stride you take
Okay.
is an opportunity to either propel yourself forward effectively or leak energy through inefficient movement patterns.
That makes sense. It's like fine-tuning a machine
Yes,
to make it run smoother and faster.
exactly.
Speaking of making our bodies stronger and more resilient,
Yeah.
the article also talks about the importance of strength training.
Yeah.
Why is that so crucial for runners? And what specific areas should we focus on?
So strength training is often overlooked by runners,
Yeah.
but it's essential for building a powerful and resilient body.
Right.
The article particularly emphasizes strengthening your legs and core.
Okay.
So strong leg muscles provide the power to propel you forward, while a strong core stabilizes your body and helps maintain efficient form, especially as you fatigue.
So we're talking squats, lunges, core work, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are there specific exercises that are particularly beneficial for runners?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exercises like squats, lunges, deadlifts, and plyometric movements
Okay.
are all excellent for building leg strength and power.
Okay.
For your core,
Okay.
planks, Russian twists, and exercises that engage your obliques are key.
Gotcha.
And remember, building strength isn't just about lifting heavy weights.
Okay.
It's about challenging your muscles in a way that translates to better running performance.
Got it. This is making me realize that there's so much more to running fast than just being thin.
Yeah,
It's about training smart, building strength, optimizing our bodies from the inside out.
for sure.
And I love that the article also brings in the mental aspect of running,
Yes,
which I think is often underestimated.
absolutely.
So how does mental toughness play a role?
Mental toughness is often the deciding factor in races, especially as the distances get longer.
Right.
The article highlights the importance of developing mental resilience and having solid race day strategies.
Right.
It's about learning to push through discomfort, manage your energy levels, and stay focused even when things get tough.
It's like training your mind to be as strong as your body. I find that so fascinating.
It really is.
To illustrate this point, the article brings in some really inspiring examples
Yeah.
of runners who defy the typical thin runner stereotype, right?
Right.
So who are some of these athletes and what makes their stories so remarkable?
Well, they highlight Yuki Kawauchi,
Okay.
the citizen runner who's won numerous marathons, including the Boston Marathon.
Wow.
What's remarkable about him is that he doesn't fit the mold
Right.
of the typical elite runner physique.
Interesting.
He demonstrates that consistency, dedication, and a genuine love for the sport can take you incredibly far.
That's so inspiring.
Yeah.
It reminds us that there's no one right way to be a runner.
No.
Who else do they mention?
They also talk about Myrna Valerio,
Okay.
an ultra runner and body positivity advocate who's challenging conventional expectations of what runners should look like.
Love it.
She's a powerful example of someone embracing their body and proving that you can achieve incredible things regardless of size.
Her story is so empowering.
It is.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, I hear they also feature Courtney Dauwalter, right?
Yes, they do.
Amazing.
Courtney Dauwalter is an ultramarathon legend
Okay.
who dominates those grueling 200-plus mile races.
200 miles.
Yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
She's incredible. Her incredible feats of endurance showcase that strength and grit,
Wow.
often outweigh body type when it comes to ultra distances.
It really goes to show that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to running.
No.
And, you know, it's easy to get caught in that trap of comparing ourselves to others, especially with social media,
Oh, yeah.
you know, constantly showcasing those seemingly perfect runners. Does the article touch upon that?
It does. The article warns against the dangers of comparison,
Okay.
especially when we're comparing ourselves to elite athletes
Yeah.
who have access to resources and
Right.
training regimens
That's-
that most of us don't.
Right.
It's important to remember that everyone's journey is unique, and our focus should be on our own progress
For sure.
and celebrating our individual achievements.
That's such an important reminder. It's easy to get caught up in the highlight reels
Right.
of others
Yeah.
and forget that we're all on our own paths facing our own challenges
Absolutely.
and celebrating our own victories.
Exactly. And one of the things I love about rockingjaltier.com
Yeah.
is that they create such a supportive and inclusive community.
Oh, that's awesome.
Their articles and resources always emphasize the importance of celebrating diversity in the running world
Right.
and recognizing that there's no one right way to be a runner.
That's so true. They do a fantastic job of fostering a sense of belonging and encouraging runners of all levels,
Yeah.
backgrounds, and body types
Yeah.
to embrace their individuality and celebrate their love for the sport.
Exactly.
And that's ultimately what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
It's finding joy in the movement, pushing our limits, and connecting with a community that shares our passion.
Right.
I love that. And the article also emphasizes that achieving our running goals, whatever those may be,
Yes.
is often a matter of mindset as much as physical training.
Yeah.
It talks about developing mental toughness or having solid race day strategies.
Right.
Yeah, I found that section particularly insightful.
Wait.
Can you elaborate a little bit on how we can train our minds to be as strong as our bodies?
Yeah, so mental toughness is all about building resilience, learning to manage discomfort, and staying focused when faced with challenges.
Okay.
It's about developing strategies for pushing through those tough moments,
Okay.
whether it's during a race or a challenging training run.
So it's about cultivating that inner voice that tells us we can keep going, even when our bodies are screaming for us to stop.
Yes. And it's a skill that can be developed through practice,
Sure.
just like any other aspect of running. The article suggests things like visualization, positive self-talk,
Uh-huh.
and setting realistic goals as ways to build mental resilience.
Those are great tips. And speaking of setting realistic goals,
Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that not everyone wants to run marathons or ultra marathons.
Right.
Some people just want to enjoy a few miles
Yeah,
a couple times a week, and that's perfectly okay.
absolutely.
Running is for everyone,
Yeah.
regardless of pace, distance, or goals. What matters most is finding what brings you joy and pursuing it with passion and consistency.
Absolutely.
And, rothinggoldtra.com does a great job of catering to runners of all levels.
Yeah.
Whether you're just starting out or training for your 10th marathon, their website has resources and guidance to help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad we're highlighting their website throughout this deep dive.
Yeah, me too.
They truly are a valuable resource
Yeah.
for the running community. So to wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
what would you say is the most crucial takeaway from the article so far?
I think the key message is that obsessing over weight can be incredibly counterproductive and even harmful.
Right.
Instead of chasing an arbitrary number on the scale,
Yeah.
we should focus on the factors we can control.
Okay.
Consistent training, proper nutrition, building strength, improving our running form, cultivating mental toughness, and most importantly, enjoying the journey.
Beautifully said. It's about becoming the strongest, healthiest, and happiest runner you can be, regardless of what the scale says.
Exactly.
And remember, all of this wisdom comes from rockinggoldtra.com. Seriously, check them out. But before you do,
Yeah.
let's take a quick break and come back to explore some even more thought-provoking questions from the article
Okay.
and how we can apply these insights to our own running journeys.
Sounds good. So the article leaves us with the powerful question. That really flips the script on how we approach running and our bodies.
Oh, I love those thought-provoking questions.
Uh-huh.
So lay it on me. What is the perspective-shifting question?
Instead of asking how much do I weigh,
Right.
ask yourself, am I running my best?
Whoa. That is powerful.
Yeah.
It completely shifts the focus from this external measure
Right.
of weight to our own internal experience of performance and well-being.
Exactly. It encourages us to tune into our bodies, assess our training, and evaluate our overall progress, rather than getting fixated on a number on the scale.
It's about recognizing that our worth as runners isn't determined by our weight, but by our effort, our dedication, and our commitment to becoming the best versions of ourselves.
Precisely. It's about striving for progress, not perfection. And, this reminds me of something the article touched upon earlier.
Yeah.
The tendency to compare ourselves to others, it's so easy to get caught up in that, especially in the age of social media.
Oh, absolutely. I've definitely fallen into that trap myself.
Yeah.
Scrolling through Instagram and feeling inadequate.
Yeah.
Compared to those runners who seem to effortlessly glide through miles while looking effortlessly stylish.
Right. The article makes a great point about the dangers of comparing ourselves, especially to elite athletes who have dedicated their lives to training and have access to resources most of us don't. It's important to remember that everyone's journey is unique.
Yeah.
And our focus should be on our own progress and celebrating our individual achievements.
That's such a crucial reminder. It's easy to get caught up in the highlight reels of others and forget that we're all on our own paths, facing our own challenges and celebrating our own victories.
Exactly. And one of the things I love about rockingaltere.com
Yeah.
is that they create such a supportive and inclusive community. Their articles and resources always emphasize the importance of celebrating diversity in the running world and recognizing that there's no one right way to be a runner.
That's so true. They do a fantastic job of fostering a sense of belonging and encouraging runners of all levels, backgrounds, and body types to embrace their individuality and celebrate their love for the sport.
And that's ultimately what it's all about, right?
Mhm.
Finding joy in the movement, pushing our limits, and connecting with a community that shares our passion.
Absolutely. It's about the journey, the friendships,
Yeah.
the personal triumphs, and the shared experiences that make running so much more than just a physical activity.
Yeah.
It's about becoming part of something bigger than ourselves.
And the article also emphasizes that achieving our running goals, whatever those may be,
Yeah.
is often a matter of mindset as much as physical training.
For sure.
It talks about developing mental toughness and having solid race day strategies.
Yeah, I found that section particularly insightful. Can you elaborate a little bit on how we can train our minds to be as strong as our bodies?
Yeah, so mental toughness is all about building resilience, learning to manage discomfort,
Okay.
and staying focused when faced with challenges.
Right.
It's about developing strategies for pushing through those tough moments, whether it's during a race or a challenging training run.
So it's about cultivating that inner voice that tells us we can keep going, even when our bodies are screaming for us to stop.
Yes, and it's a skill that can be developed through practice, just like any other aspect of running. The article suggests things like visualization, positive self-talk, and setting realistic goals as ways to build mental resilience.
Those are great tips. And speaking of setting realistic goals,
Yeah.
I think it's important to acknowledge that not everyone wants to run marathons or ultra marathons.
Right.
Some people just want to enjoy a few miles a couple times a week,
Yeah.
and that's perfectly okay.
Absolutely. Running is for everyone, regardless of pace, distance, or goals. What matters most is finding what brings you joy and pursuing it with passion and consistency.
I love that. And rockingaltre.com does a great job of catering to runners of all levels, whether you're just starting out or training for your 10th marathon.
Right.
Their website has resources and guidance to help you achieve your goals.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so glad we're highlighting their website throughout this deep dive.
Me too.
They truly are a valuable resource for the running community. So speaking of valuable resources, what are some key takeaways listeners can acclimate to shift their focus from weight obsession to performance and well-being?
I think one of the most important things is to focus on building a strong and healthy body rather than striving for an arbitrary weight. That means prioritizing consistent training, proper nutrition, and adequate recovery.
Those are the foundations for sure. It's about nourishing our bodies and giving them the fuel they need to perform at their best.
Exactly. And it's about listening to our bodies and respecting their limits. Pushing ourselves is important, but so is knowing when to rest and recover.
That's a message I think we all need to hear more often. It's easy to get caught up in the no pain, no gain mentality and forget that rest and recovery are just as crucial as the workouts themselves.
Absolutely. And another key takeaway is to focus on the things we can control. We can't always control our genetics or our body type,
Right.
but we can control our effort, our dedication, and our commitment to becoming the best runners we can be.
That's so empowering. It takes the focus away from things that are often outside of our control and puts it back on the actions we can take to achieve our goals.
And remember, this journey isn't meant to be a solo endeavor. Surround yourself with a supportive community. Find mentors who inspire you and celebrate each other's successes.
That's such great advice. And speaking of supportive communities, I think we need to give another shout out to rockingaltre.com. They've built such an incredible platform that fosters connection, encouragement, and a shared passion for running.
Absolutely. Their website is more than just a collection of resources. It's a hub for runners of all levels to connect, share their experiences, and find inspiration.
It's like a virtual running club,
Yeah,
full of knowledge, support, and a sense of camaraderie. Definitely worth checking out.
for sure.
Well, as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm feeling so inspired to embrace this new perspective on running,
Yeah.
one that focuses on strength, resilience, and joy, rather than weight and comparison.
And the article ends on such a hopeful note, encouraging us to step into our power as runners, to embrace our individuality, and to find joy in the journey.
That's a message I think we can all carry with us. both on and off the running track.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing our own inherent worth and celebrating the amazing things our bodies can do.
Beautifully said. And this whole conversation has made me realize that maybe it's time to ditch the scale for good and focus on those internal measures of progress and well-being.
I'm right there with you. It's about feeling strong, energized, and capable rather than chasing a number that doesn't tell the whole story.
Exactly. It's about running our best, not being the thinnest.
I love that. And speaking of running our best, I'm curious to hear your final thoughts on how we can take these insights and apply them to our own running journeys. Let's explore that as we wrap up our deep dive into this fantastic article from rockandultra.com.
As we've been talking about, this whole deep dive has really highlighted the importance of shifting our focus from external measures like weight to internal measures like strength, resilience, and joy.
It's about recognizing that true progress in running and in life really comes from nurturing a positive relationship with our bodies and focusing on the things we can control.
And one of the most powerful ways to do that is to set intentions rather than resolutions. Instead of focusing on what we want to achieve,
Okay,
let's focus on how we want to feel.
that's such a great point. It's about cultivating a mindset of growth and self-compassion rather than striving for some arbitrary ideal. So instead of resolving to lose a certain amount of weight, we might set an intention to feel strong and energized during our runs.
Exactly. And instead of fixating on hitting a specific pace, we might set an intention to run with joy and gratitude, appreciating the incredible ability of our bodies to move.
I love that. It's about shifting our perspective from what we lack to what we already possess. The power to move, to challenge ourselves, and to experience the joy of running.
And another key takeaway from this deep dive is the importance of finding a supportive community. Surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and encourage us can make all the difference in our running journey.
That's so true. And if you're looking for a truly supportive and inclusive community, look no further than rockingultra.com. They've created a fantastic platform that fosters connection, celebrates diversity, and provides valuable resources for runners of all levels.
Their website is a treasure trove of information, from training plans and nutrition advice to inspiring stories and expert guidance. They even offer personalized coaching for those seeking more individualized support.
It's like a one-stop shop for everything running, and they do it all with such a positive and encouraging spirit. Definitely worth checking them out.
And as we wrap up this deep dive, I think it's important to remember that this journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress, consistency, and most importantly, enjoying the process.
It's about embracing those ups and downs, those moments of triumph and those days when our legs feel like lead. It's about showing up for ourselves day after day and celebrating every step we take, no matter how big or small.
And it's about remembering that we're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of runners out there cheering each other on, sharing tips, and celebrating each other's successes.
So to all you runners out there, no matter your pace, distance, or body type, know that you are strong, you are capable, and you are worthy of achieving your goals.
Embrace your unique journey, find joy in the movement, and remember that running is for everyone.
And if you need a little extra guidance or inspiration along the way, remember to check out rockingultra.com. They've got your back.
Happy running, everyone!
See you next time.